What if the most effective strategy for rebuilding bone strength has been sitting in your refrigerator all along? Research now shows that fermented dairy products like kefir actively reverse bone loss by working through mechanisms that conventional approaches completely overlook.
Welcome to Dr. Mer-cola's Cellular Wisdom. Stay informed with quick, easy-to-listen summaries of our latest articles, perfect for when you're on the go. No reading required. Subscribe for free at mercola.com for the latest health insights.
Hello and welcome to Dr. Mer-cola's Cellular Wisdom.
This article from Dr. Mer-cola's site examines the growing body of evidence that probiotics in fermented dairy do far more than support digestion. They directly influence the cells responsible for building and breaking down bone tissue. The bacteria in kefir and other fermented dairy products interact with your gut in ways that shift the balance between bone formation and bone resorption in favor of stronger, denser bones.
The key discovery is that specific probiotic strains found in fermented dairy boost the production of osteocalcin, a protein that is essential for incorporating calcium into bone matrix. At the same time, these probiotics reduce markers of bone breakdown. This dual action means fermented dairy is not just slowing bone loss. It is actively promoting the construction of new bone tissue.
The clinical results are impressive. One study found that regular kefir consumption increased hip bone density by 5.5% in just 6 months. The hip is one of the most vulnerable areas for life-altering fractures in older adults, so a measurable increase in density at that specific site represents a meaningful reduction in real-world risk.
Dr. Mer-cola explains that the mechanism goes beyond simple calcium delivery. While dairy does provide calcium, the real advantage of fermented dairy is the living bacterial cultures that reshape your gut environment. These beneficial bacteria lower systemic inflammation and reduce oxidative stress, which are two of the most significant hidden drivers of accelerated bone loss. Most conventional approaches to bone health focus exclusively on mineral supplementation, while ignoring the inflammatory conditions that cause minerals to be stripped from bone faster than they can be replaced.
The gut-bone connection is central to understanding why fermented dairy works so effectively. Your gut bacteria produce short-chain fatty acids and other metabolites that directly communicate with bone cells. When the gut microbiome is healthy and diverse, it sends signals that favor osteoblast activity, which builds bone. When the microbiome is disrupted by processed foods, stress, or inadequate fermented food intake, the signaling shifts toward osteoclast dominance, which breaks bone down.
The probiotics in kefir specifically have been shown to modulate the balance between these two cell types. Osteoblasts lay down new bone matrix, while osteoclasts remove old or damaged bone. In a healthy system, these processes are balanced. But with age, especially after hormonal changes, osteoclast activity accelerates while osteoblast activity declines. The probiotic strains in fermented dairy help restore that equilibrium.
Dr. Mer-cola also highlights the role of C15-0, an odd-chain saturated fat naturally present in dairy that has been largely overlooked. This particular fatty acid supports metabolic health, protects cellular membranes, and has anti-inflammatory properties that complement the probiotic benefits. C15-0 helps maintain the cellular energy and structural integrity that bone-building cells need to function effectively.
The combination of living probiotics, bioavailable calcium, and protective fats makes fermented dairy a uniquely comprehensive approach to bone health. You are not getting a single isolated nutrient. You are getting an integrated package of compounds that work together through multiple pathways to support the entire bone remodeling process.
The article also addresses why pasteurized, non-fermented dairy does not deliver the same benefits. Without the living bacterial cultures, you lose the gut-mediated signaling that drives the bone-building response. The fermentation process itself also partially predigests proteins and enhances mineral bioavailability, meaning your body can extract and utilize more of the nutrients present in fermented dairy compared to its unfermented counterpart.
For people who are already dealing with reduced bone density, Dr. Mer-cola notes that fermented dairy represents a food-based intervention that can work alongside other strategies. Weight-bearing exercise, adequate vitamin D and K2, and reducing inflammatory dietary triggers all complement the probiotic-driven bone support that fermented dairy provides.
The broader message is that bone health is not simply a calcium problem. It is an inflammatory, microbial, and metabolic problem. Addressing all three of those dimensions simultaneously is what makes fermented dairy so effective, compared to taking isolated calcium supplements, which research has shown provide limited benefit and may even carry cardiovascular risks when taken in high doses without cofactors.
The practical takeaway is that incorporating kefir or other traditionally fermented dairy into your daily routine provides a natural food-based strategy for protecting and rebuilding bone density that works through your gut, your immune system, and your cellular metabolism all at once.
The evidence suggests that the bacteria in your gut may have more influence over your bone strength than the calcium in your supplements ever will.
Are you currently including fermented dairy in your diet, and have you noticed changes in your bone health or overall energy? Share your experience in the comments. For Dr. Mer-cola's complete guide to fermented dairy and bone health, check out the full article at the link below.
Thank you for listening to Dr. Mer-cola Cellular Wisdom. See you in the next episode.
Looking for trusted health wisdom you can hold in your hands? Discover the life-changing books of Dr. Mer-cola at joyhousepublishing.com. These titles bring decades of natural health research into practical steps for better energy, stronger immunity, and clearer thinking. Take charge of your health with guidance rooted in science and experience. Visit joyhousepublishing.com now and claim your bonuses while they are available.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe now and click the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.